So you have a Scorpio midheaven. How exactly do you use it to grow and scale your business? Well, in this video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly what you need to know in order to make the most out of your Scorpio midheaven and truly master it. If you're new here, hi, hello, and welcome. My name is Blue, and I'm a business astrologer, helping you use astrology so you can start, grow, and scale your online business. And this video is all about how to master your Scorpio midheaven. So if you don't have a Scorpio midheaven, definitely make sure that you check out the rest of the playlist because I have videos breaking down exactly how to master your midheaven, and I'm going through all of the zodiac signs, so make sure that you watch the one for your midheaven sign. And if you do have a Scorpio midheaven, then stay tuned because we're going to be breaking down exactly what you need to know in order to start, grow, or scale your online business. Scorpio is a sign that is truly misunderstood, and I think it is really important to understand and break down what it truly means in order to understand how to use it to your best ability. So first and foremost, we have to understand what the Scorpio archetype truly is. So Scorpio is ruled traditionally by Mars. Modern astrology associates Scorpio being ruled by Pluto, but in traditional astrology, which is what I practice as a traditional Hellenistic astrologer, Scorpio is actually ruled by Mars, which also rules over Aries. This is so significant because even just this one change makes a difference in how we're able to understand the Scorpio archetype itself. Scorpio is also a fixed water sign as well. So looking at these different traits, we can pull together different things in association with the sign of Scorpio. So first and foremost, Scorpio does have this reputation of being hidden away, of being quite secretive, of pulling back from the public sphere and doing its best work more so in the shadows. If you have a Scorpio midheaven, your superpower is being able to tap into your magnetism and how you're able to be seen and be visible while still honoring the side of your archetype that really thrives when you're able to pull back and be in your own space, be in the environment where you thrive in order to do your best work. So it's really important to understand this because when you have a Scorpio midheaven, you're going to operate just naturally very different from someone that has, say, a Leo midheaven, right? Or someone that thrives or has placements that suggest that they thrive in more public spaces. It is so important that you honor the side of yourself, the part of you that does its best work when you're in the shadows or perhaps hidden away, and that you really shine perhaps in the behind the scenes work, which we'll dive into a little bit later as well. Scorpio is also a fixed water sign, and so really diving into these parts of the Scorpio archetype give us more insight as well as to where you could thrive in a business sense. Fixed signs are really good at helping to create a process, a formula, a structure for other people to follow, a guide of some kind, how to go from point A or where your clients currently are to point B or where they would like to go, and filling in a path that helps to make the process easier or more fun or more engaging, or just create a sense of ease and excitement and joy into this process. This aligns so well with how we see business as a structure because business essentially is about solving a problem, right? And so you're naturally gifted at being able to solve this problem of eliminating friction. And going back to the fact that Scorpio is traditionally ruled by Mars, we can really connect back to perhaps your gift in helping your clients to eliminate or overcome or to work with the natural challenges or friction points that they're experiencing in your niche or your area of expertise. Mars is a sign that it's malefic in nature, so its nature is to bring about more challenges to the native's life. So we can connect this to business astrology and thinking about what are the challenges that your clients are struggling to overcome, what are the problems that they're facing with your niche or your industry or your area of expertise, what are the things that are holding them back from being able to overcome their challenges, and especially even thinking about Mars in the ways that it relates to the energy or the ability to create movement towards action. And what I mean by that is how can you best help your clients to overcome procrastination or their inability to take action on a certain thing? This could maybe look like supporting folks who are at beginning stages or beginning to solve their problem, helping them to build that momentum in order to move forward. Or maybe they're further along in the process, they're a little bit more advanced as well. What are the roadblocks that are stopping them from achieving their end goal? There's so many different ways that you can frequency that this applies to, but a really core part of this is working with that Martian nature, the ability to work with action, build energy towards it, and build momentum in order to overcome it, as well as to work with the strategy in order to make the most out of the momentum that you are having. We also can't forget that Scorpio is a water sign, and so its nature is in going deeper. This really connects back to so much of how your midheaven sign is really designed to thrive. You do really well when you're able to get to the heart of the matter, when you're able to be quite investigative and to dig deep into how to solve a problem. So it does work out best for you with a Scorpio midheaven to really dig into what is truly the core problem that your clients are facing. Not just the surface level problems or the symptoms that they may be experiencing, but what is the core problem that is holding them back from being able to achieve or overcome or to accomplish their end goal to get to where they want to be. And how can you create a focus in your business to best support them in doing this? All of this connects back to the fact that when you have a Scorpio midheaven, you have all these innate talents and strengths that really are able to help support you in becoming a successful business owner. It's just a matter of rewiring your brain and your thought process and what that looks like and how you're able to connect it back to your work. Now, we've talked about Mars a lot, but you also want to consider the fact that Mars is going to be the ruling planet for your midheaven sign. So you want to take into consideration what your Mars placement is. What sign is it in? What house is it in? Are there any interesting planetary relationships that are going on within your chart? Relation to Mars. This is going to tell you a whole lot about your relationship as well to energy, to action, to strategy, and being able to work with clients with these different topics and perhaps helping you to develop your own process or strategy. So starting off with your business structure, when you have a Scorpio midheaven, it is so important that you structure your business in a way that really allows you to build momentum and take natural breaks. This works really well if you work with clients in dedicated long sprints. I can really see this midheaven sign doing very well in working with clients in a dedicated problem. Fixed signs in general do very well with niching down. So when you have a Scorpio midheaven, you might want to consider the fact that you want to niche down to build your knowledge and your reputation around getting really good at one particular problem and then flexing your muscles in terms of the adaptability or your ability to apply that niche in many different ways or to work with many different clients with that problem. So thinking about the flexibility or the adaptability of the challenge specifically that you help to overcome, that's very Scorpio midheaven coded, and the different ways that this can apply for your clients and seeing, okay, this is the core problem that you help them to solve. This is why it's important. This is why they should work with you specifically. You want to build your body of work and your thought leadership around this knowledge base and this ability to help your clients to overcome this challenge. You also want to think about perhaps structuring your business to work in dedicated sprints. So perhaps you're not somebody that has a ton of energy. It may not necessarily be great for you to work in a space where you have to be necessarily on all the time. So maybe you want to consider having a hybrid model where you're able to be live in community with your clients for a dedicated period or in a very structured space, and really translating that to you have a lot of time to rest and recalibrate and really be focused and dedicated and strategic in the way that you're able to apply your particular solution or process to help your clients. This does really well when we're talking about signature offers, having perhaps a course model or a live program where you're able to offset both live teaching and live interaction with your clients with technology such as pre-recorded modules or dedicated online resources in order to help support your clients with a learning model. So that way they're able to interact with your process, learn what it is and how to integrate it into their lives without you necessarily being on in all those structures. So I think this works really well for you when you have a Scorpio midheaven, and also moving away from models that require higher levels of energy management or just require you to be on all the time, such as dedicated one-on-one work. You definitely want to have a structure that supports you in being able to take breaks, to take rest, to to step away from your work and to recalibrate and get that energy back as well. This also in turn helps you to build strategically and sustainably within your business long term. Centering your work, niching it down, and being very dedicated in creating one signature offer really helps to develop your thought leadership and your space as an authority in your particular niche or industry as well. So this all really builds on itself, and on the plus side, building it in this way creates a business that is really structured and sustainable from day one for you. Now, in terms of marketing, it is really important for you to consider the fact that also energy might be very limited for you, or you may have a very structured way in how you want to communicate and just get your work out there. So when you have a Scorpio midheaven, really think about what are the content types that are easiest for you to create, and how can this align with the marketing platforms that you're choosing strategically for your business. I highly recommend focusing in on one content type for this midheaven sign, really dedicating yourself to, okay, are you going to show up on video, on audio? Are you going to write things out? And then utilizing this in a repurposing model. So that way you're dedicating yourself to the platforms that are going to give you that high value return and that are going to support and ultimately reward you for being in a role that thrives and being very structured and really sustainable. So something like YouTube or having a podcast or being a blogger, starting off with dedicated long form content and then repurposing it to another content type that also does very well for you is going to allow you to create as much content as you need in order to develop your thought process, to connect with your audience, and also to market and get them into your ecosystem so that leads them into your signature offer in a really sustainable way. And also that doesn't require you to be visible on every single platform. We want to minimize the roadblocks that may exist in your business as well and make it as easy as possible for you to create structure and sustainability within your business. The last thing you want to take into consideration is something I've been mentioning throughout this video, which is energy management. So being ruled by a malefic planet does lead to challenges within the ways that you're able to show up and be present. So you want to take into consideration that your business model needs to accommodate for that. Creating a plan for yourself so that your business is able to run even when you're in low energy periods or have to take a step away from your business without the quality of your work taking a dip is going to be so important. And so it is really significant for you to consider what is going to be required for you to create a more simple, streamlined, and structured business. And also, how can you do your work in a sustainable manner? And ultimately, how can you repurpose, reuse, and reduce friction by utilizing the work that you have already created, especially when it comes to your marketing assets? These are going to be huge and help you learn how to work best with your energy and really thrive as a Scorpio midheaven business owner. The biggest thing I want to impart with you is that you already have everything that you need in order to create a really successful online business, even with a Scorpio midheaven. It doesn't require you to change the essence of who you are. You don't need to be hyper visible in the way that other midheaven signs might be. In fact, your ability to connect with people, to work with less clients, and to dig deep into specific solutions and overcoming problems, that is a skill that you can utilize to your advantage. And that's ultimately what's going to help you to stand out as an online business owner that utilizes your midheaven energy. So if you want to dive deeper into what this process looks like and how you can use it specifically for your business, then I want to invite you to join me inside of my signature program, the Midheaven Method. This is my signature program where we create a successful, sustainable business that is centered around your midheaven placement. All of the information on the program, and most importantly, how to join, can be found in the description box below. So definitely make sure that you check that out. I can't wait to see you inside of the Midheaven Method and in the next video. Bye.